I filmed this video like 3 times today. I can't seem to get my thoughts straight on this matter, so I'm just gonna dive in, and I'm sorry if it's a little bit disjointed. I'm gonna be talking to you guys a little bit about dealing with negativity, both online and in your personal life. This is something that I thought I was gonna put on the Chatalash channel, but I was like, you know what? Absolutely everybody deals with this, and I feel like it's worthwhile to put it on the main channel. So this is one of my most asked questions. People ask me about this all the time, and that's how I deal with negativity and how you kind of move past it. And honestly, I think the reason why I'm having such troubles filming this is because I really don't know. It's something that you will always deal with, and you know, I can say, well, I do this and this and this, but really, negativity affects me differently every day. Some days I'm totally fine, it slides off my back and I don't give a shit at all. And other days it really, really brings me down. So I mean, the first thing that I want to say is that it's okay to let negativity bring you down. I don't know why so many people think that, like, you know, especially like YouTubers and whatever else, like that we are like superhumans and we're like, oh, negativity doesn't bother me, I get so much love, what would I care? No, like negativity bothers absolutely everybody, and that's totally okay. Like, it's okay to just like, it's okay to cry, it's okay to be upset sometimes, and it's okay to be bothered by things that are happening in your life, things that people are saying about you that are negative. It's like, that's so normal. So don't worry about it if that's something that you're dealing with. So with that said, I mean, negativity is just something that we all deal with. You're not alone. Don't think you are. Don't think that anybody else is not being talked about. Absolutely everybody has haters. I got an email a little while back where somebody was like, you know, I don't understand how people could say negative things about you. You just seem so great and blah, blah, blah. The thing is, there will always be someone who doesn't like you for your decisions, and that's totally okay. It is what it is, and you can only really take it at face value and let it kind of slide off your back, because the thing is like, I'm not going to make my decisions based on what Bob and Joe and Mary feel about them. I'm making my decisions based on what makes me happy, what I think is right, and that's pretty much it. Since I started doing social media, people don't like the fact that I tan. They don't like the fact that I do product endorsements. They don't like the fact that I wore colored contacts when I did, have acrylic nails, have silver hair, whatever it may be. Every decision that I've made since I started doing social media has been scrutinized, and you know what, like at the end of the day, I just have to take it with a grain of salt, because I did what I felt was right in that moment, and I'm young, and I'm going to continue to make mistakes, and I'm going to continue to do things that people aren't going to be happy with, and I'm going to continue to accept that. But even before social media, I mean, when I was in high school and middle school and stuff like that, people would criticize the way I would dress. They'd criticize the fact that I wore so much makeup, that I wore eyelashes, that I wore low-cut tops, like whatever it was. It just doesn't matter. You know, every single one of us goes through this in some form or another. So I talked to you guys on Twitter and asked kind of like what you guys wanted to know specifically. Let me grab my phone. So a lot of you are asking how I deal with negative comments online, if they bother me, and you know, what I do beyond blocking them or whatever. So when I do get a negative comment on my page, what I do is I usually block them immediately. I don't respond. I don't try to feed into it normally. Sometimes I have my days where I'm a little bit sassy and I do respond, but most times I just block them and I move on. And basically, some people are like, oh man, you're blocking people, like you're not allowing other comments, you're not allowing, like, you know, people to have opinions. People are allowed to have opinions, and if people are expressing them in a constructive way, not in a hurtful way or an aggressive way, I'm totally fine with that. However, if it is a negative comment that's just straight up negative, there are so many websites on the internet for you to express your negative opinion about my choices. And my page will not be one of those. So I pretty much block them immediately, and what that does for me is the sooner that it's out of my mind, I just don't even really think about it. Like I know when it's a negative comment, I know when it has like, you know, like there's no good in that comment, they're just saying it for fucking shits and gigs. I immediately delete it, so it's immediately out of my mind. The more time that I spend thinking about it, the more it's gonna bother me. And you know, a lot of people say like, well, you get so many positive comments, like why would it even bother you? I think that you all know just as well as I do that somebody could constantly be telling you that you're so pretty, you're so gorgeous, you're talented, you're amazing, you're just everything, like you're fabulous. Basically, you could be showered with compliments, but if one person was like, man, you know, your makeup looks like shit today, or you look chubby, or your hair looks greasy, or like whatever it is, that comment is going to hit you so much harder, and it's going to mean so much more to you than the people that are praising you. It's so easy to be knocked down, and it's a lot harder to be built up. We are in a society that is constantly telling us we're not good enough, so we almost discredit when people kind of praise us for whatever it may be, which is too bad, but it is kind of the way that it is. I mean, we, especially women, but everybody deals with this, you know, we are constantly made to be in competition with one another, and it's like, why? You know, just because that woman is pretty doesn't mean that suddenly, you know, I don't have beauty in my own self, and vice versa. Just because one person gets an opportunity doesn't mean that they took that opportunity from me, and so on, you know, but it's because we are raised, you know, in this kind of society where we are in competition with one another, and it is something where, well, you might be pretty, but are you prettier than her? And you might have nice hair, but is it nicer than hers? Or, you know, whatever it may be. Like, it's just, it's shitty. We all go through it, men and women, and it sucks. But again, like, it's part of life, and it's something where look at your own self and look at how you treat people, and if that's not on par with how you want to be treated and how you know, want your kids to be raised and whatever else, then change that about yourself and make it something where, you know, if it bums you out that people talk down to you, or if it bums you out that women are in competition with each other or whatever, don't be that person. Like, don't be that person that feeds into that and lets that be part of your life, because the thing is like, you know, one hand washes the other. It's something that we all do at some point in our lives, but we all have the ability to stop doing. And I constantly tell you guys, you know, do whatever you want. Don't let people tell you what to do. Don't listen to other people's opinions. Like, just do what makes you happy. Do what it is that is fulfilling for you. And I tell you guys that for two reasons. The first of which is because I genuinely want you guys to make decisions for yourself. I want you guys to do things for yourself and be the person that you want to be, and don't listen to outside influence. Just do what it is that makes you happy. I genuinely want that for each and every one of you. But the second reason is because I hope that by telling you to do that, you in turn allow other people to do that as well. And you kind of, you know, check yourself before you tell someone that they're making the wrong decision because of a reason that's just your own opinion. You know, like, I do hope that as much as I want that for you guys, that you also continue to help breed that idea into our society and into your community and in your friend circle. And, you know, that if maybe your friends see you doing something that you might have not done in the past because you would have been worried about how people would talk about you, if they see you doing that thing, maybe then they will be liberated to go on and do something as well. And I think that that in itself is such a powerful thing. And it's something that's unconscious to us. Like, you doing your own thing can liberate someone so much to do the same, and you help that person without really meaning to and without trying, and that's like, that's cool. That's really badass. Wow, I'm just going off on so many tangents, I feel like. But, so anyways, okay, going back to blocking people. Yes, if I get negative comments and stuff like that, I just block them. I try not to think about it. If it's something that really hit home and really bothered me, I'll vent about it. Again, that's totally okay. If you want to sit down and just like have a little bitch session, that's okay. Like, call your mom, talk to your boyfriend, your girlfriend, your, you know, other friends, whatever it may be. Like, talk to whoever it is that you need to vent to, and just be like, listen, I'm not looking for advice or whatever, I just need to frickin' talk about this, and, you know, just vent back and forth. That's totally healthy and okay. Sometimes you just need to get it out of your system, and that's kind of the best way, is talking about it. If something really, really bothers me, like, sometimes I'll read something about myself online. I'm not gonna lie to you guys, I'm not above Googling my own name. Who wouldn't? You know, and sometimes I'll read something that really, really bums me out, and I'll be like out of sorts for a couple days and just kind of in a bad mood and kind of down on myself and whatever. When that happens, and this can be from anything. It could be from someone talking about you. It could be something in your personal life. Maybe you're fighting with like your significant other, or whatever it may be. Like just whatever's going on that's negative and it's bumming you out. When that kind of happens to me, I really take time for myself. Like I'll pick my ass up and go to Lush and get some like bath bombs and just like take like a long hot bath, play Nintendo, watch Gossip Girl, listen to music, dance in my underwear, like just whatever it is I need to do for myself, to kind of like just take care of myself and just step back a little bit, and just relax and remind myself that I am doing what I want to be doing, and I am doing what I believe is right, and I am trying to be good to people, and I remind myself, like I'm not a bad person, and I make mistakes, and that's completely okay. I'm 22 years old. I'm going to continue to make mistakes throughout my entire life, and it's okay. Okay, so one other question that I got was somebody asking, how to take a friend out of a negative situation. My camera's a little crazy. I'm just going to turn it like this. So this is a tough one, because I truly believe that people won't remove themselves from negative situations until they're fully ready. And I'm kind of speaking, I guess, more in terms of relationships. I myself have been in relationships that I should have left long before I did. And I've had plenty of friends in the same kind of situation. And it's hard because, you can have people telling you that it's not a good situation. You can tell yourself that it's not a good situation. But the reality is that until you're ready to remove yourself, it's not going to happen anyways. So what I would say to you is that if your friend is going through a negative time, or they have a negative person in their life, or whatever it may be, the best thing that you can do is support them and tell them that you'll be there for them. Tell them your thoughts in a really gentle way and in a non-judgmental way, because one big thing that everyone is afraid of is being judged for their decisions, for who they're with, for how they are themselves, like just in every way. Like we're afraid of being judged, and if you want to be a good friend to this person, don't judge them, don't push them or tell them that they're making the wrong decision. Just tell them, look I care about you, I think that maybe this isn't the best thing, and when you need someone to talk to, I'm here, always. And I would just leave it at that. The question that I got was how to deal with our own negativity, and kind of get out of that headspace. I know that sometimes we can be our own biggest enemy, and we'll always be our biggest critic. Again, it's a tough one. It's hard to just tell yourself, okay, I'm gonna be done being negative now, and I'm gonna be done, tearing myself down. Unfortunately, it doesn't really work like that. You can't just like pull yourself right out of it. What you can do is push yourself to do something else, basically. I've gone through stages of depression in my life and stages of really intense anxiety. And lately I've been dealing a lot with social anxiety and stuff like that, like going to events and all that kind of stuff really freaks me out. Recently, I don't know why, but I can sit here and I can talk myself up and just like freak myself out so much and tell myself that everything's gonna go wrong. But I think that sometimes just pushing myself to just do it, just like stop thinking about it and just go do something, getting myself out of the house, like just motivating myself to just do anything other than sit there and think by myself, sometimes really helps me a lot to get out of that headspace. I know what it's like to not want to get out of bed in the morning. I know what it's like to be really down on yourself and not be motivated at all to do anything whatsoever. So if you kind of are in a negative headspace and you're kind of tearing yourself down a little bit, just go do something. Honestly, even if you're doing it by yourself, go see a movie, go freaking eat chicken wings, like do anything to just get yourself out of that space, because I think that sometimes, as much as it's good to take time for yourself and as much as it's good to have your bubble baths and you're dancing in your underwear and whatever, sometimes you really just do need to like remove yourself from the situation that you're in, remove yourself from familiar surroundings and be like, okay, I just gotta go do something else and get my head away from where I was. Because we can, like, honestly, like, the brain is so powerful, and you telling yourself something can just be so, it can be so good or it can be so bad. And sometimes you just really need to like pick yourself up and be like, okay, I'm done with this, I'm gonna go do something else today. A lot of people ask me about, you know, they want to get into social media, they want to get into YouTube and stuff like that, and they're like, you know, I'm really afraid, like I'm afraid of what people will say about me or dealing with the negativity or whatever. As I've said to you guys a million times before, don't ever let the fear of what people might say about you hold you back. Don't let what people say about you now hold you back. Whatever you want to do, whatever you want to try and do, just do it and go for it, because you really only have one life to live. And I don't look back at situations and decisions that I've made that people have talked negatively about me and go like, oh, I really shouldn't have made that decision because people talk negatively about me. I am more likely to look back and be like, man, I'm really disappointed in myself that I didn't make that decision or I didn't go for whatever it was because I was worried about what people would say. It bums me out so much to think that some people don't do the things that they want in life. They don't act the way they want in life because of this worry and this like just like irrational fear that we all carry. You know, it's with all of us, and it really blows sometimes. It really bums me out because, you know, so many people, like we just have so many brilliant, talented, like wonderful people out there that don't do what they're meant to do because they're so worried and just so nervous and anxious about, you know, what people might have to say or what might happen. And honestly, ask yourself, what is the worst thing that can happen? And does that outweigh the best thing that could happen from me doing this? So let's say that's, you know, you pursuing social media as a career, YouTube for instance. What's the worst thing that could happen? People won't like you, you won't be successful. Okay, so what's the best thing that could happen? You could meet a ton of really cool people, people could absolutely adore you, you could inspire people, you could be super successful, you could get rich, you could just like, there's just so many good things. So do those good things outweigh the possibility that people won't like you? Because if that's the worst thing, if the worst thing is that people won't like you, you've probably already experienced that in your life anyways. Like, have you never honestly had somebody that didn't like you? I'm pretty sure we've all had people that don't like us. So you've already had that bad thing happen to you. Who cares? The good things that could happen to you are so much more valuable and so much more worth it. So just as trivial as it sounds, don't worry about it. I feel like I've rambled about this enough, so those are my thoughts on dealing with negativity, how I deal with it, how I think that you should maybe deal with it, and yeah, that's pretty much it. If you guys have questions, let me know in the comments below, and what are your thoughts? How do you deal with negativity? And yeah, we'll chat. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you next time. Peace out.